Welcome to episode number 2 of the Pro Wrestling Rundown. I'm the X-Man and this is the Internet Zone, Mike Edwards.
Who knew we'd make it to number 2? I bet some people didn't.
I just numbered 2 not too long ago.
You know who you are.
We made it to number 2 here on the number 2.
So X, the first subject we're going to talk about is obviously the big thing was SummerSlam.
Summer Slime.
And
Let me try that again. Summer Slam.
Summerfest.
Summer.
Now, the problem I've been reading on the internet, I don't know if you spend as much time on there as I do, that it's like every worker, wrestler, yes, everybody that's involved in indie wrestling somehow has the, as they say on the internet, they have the butt hurt recently.
The butt hurt.
Yes, because they're all been on there going nuts over the fact that Randy Orton took the title from Daniel Bryan. Because everybody's on it. I even saw somebody put hashtag Vince hates money. And it's like, really? What's your promotion doing? How are you competing? Are you on the USA Network?
Vince hates
I
money.
respect every worker out there. Everybody does this for the passion, for love.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Randy Orton fan. I think it's stupid, but it's pro wrestling.
Yeah, but you
Part of
know,
the show.
here's the thing. At the very end of this whole program, when Daniel Bryan gets the title and defeats Randy Orton, it's going to make Bryan huge. It's going to make him a bigger star than he is, that he already is. It's going to make
He's chasing the title for a reason.
ratings and money. I mean, when he gets up there again, when it finally happens, Vince and Daniel Bryan are going to be laughing all the way to the bank. So as far as that's concerned, I mean, look what happened to Austin when he chased the title. Look what happened when The Rock was chasing the title as a good guy. All the time, the ratings were huge because people want to see him get the title. You were always tuning in. That's exactly what's going on. It's storyline. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. I mean, I think it's...
Like I said, I'm not a big Randy Orton fan, but...
No, but he does make a better heel than he does in face.
Exactamundo.
As well, falling into that, fortunately as well, I'm going to talk about this, speaking of new champions, Bully Ray is now 2-time champion of TNA.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how'd that happen?
They had a pay-per-view on TV, because they're taking away some of their pay. This is what
They only do, like, what, 5 now? Kind of like
Right.
the old school WWF, Big 5?
Yes.
Well, Big 4, then Big 5 with King of the Ring.
That's the one thing I like about them is that they're cutting down the number of pay-per-views. I think the WWE should do it too because it gives you more chance to build up. If you're going to do a pay-per-view, like take away, for example, like Over the Limit, and instead do
Or Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, or do a Saturday night's main event, or a Clash of the Champions. You got the rights to the name.
We got the rights to the name. Why not a Clash of the Champions on, like, Sci-Fi or something?
Yeah, so I mean, Bully Ray becoming a 2-time champion there. I don't know. And here's the other question, the other problem I have with TNA right now. I know I kind of ramble on about TNA and what they're doing right and doing wrong, but at the same time, they're not keeping an eye on contracts.
Now, isn't Matt Morgan?
Matt Morgan's let go, and he's in contract negotiations with WWE. Right now, AJ...
They're more interested right now, it seems, in signing MMA guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that the official sweat rag from the Facebook?
The official sweat rag. If you want to, we'll auction this off on eBay in 6 months.
So keep that on your half the table.
We'll put it on Drew's old side.
Yeah, it's about the same thing.
Hey.
Sorry, Drew. Anyway, the contracts in TNA, they're not doing a very good job of it, as he's actually a lot better than Drew.
All right, now, this isn't pick on Drew Shannon.
All right, we'll wait till he's here.
Mr. Drew.
It's all right. We'll have him on sometime. All right, as far as the TNA contract, this is what gets me. AJ Styles, 10-year contract, 10-year veteran of TNA. His contract about to expire, and they're not really moving forward very fast on.
Hey, maybe WWE could pick him up.
Did you see who else? Ken Anderson's contract is running out in TNA.
Mr. Injury Prone.
Yeah, and he got fired from WWE for injuring Randy Orton in the match. It's just funny to me that their contract, they're not doing a very good job at re-signing contracts.
No,
It's
they're
like,
not.
You're keeping guys like Hulk Hogan, who, by the way, recently just signed a deal with Take-Two to appear in WWE 2K14. He can appear in a video game for the WWE while he's under contract with TNA. He appeared at the arm wrestling thing and didn't even promote TNA. Now, at this point, to me, like Hulk Hogan, is not in the best interest of TNA.
He don't care about TNA. He just wants money.
He needs it after his messy divorce.
Yeah, well.
I just think
It's sad to look at like stars like Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan and see which terrible shape they're in, and then you got guys like Mick Foley and Bret Hart who have saved their money and
we're very smart about it.
especially Mick Foley. If you heard the stories and you read his books, he was a cheapskate on the road, but
Oh yeah.
now you don't have to see Mick Foley showing up all the time for a cheap buck.
Yeah. If he shows up to do some kind of fan fest or
It's just special, yeah. It's just
He's doing it for, I mean, he's doing those concert shows because he can. He's got the ability to go out and do other ventures, other projects like that. I did want to talk about this. This is a good subject. John Cena recently injured. We
4
talked
to
about
6 months.
Yes.
So Sheamus is out too.
Sheamus is out.
Right there's your two big guys.
Yeah, we've been at ringside. We've seen our fair share of injuries in the ring happen. Now, injury can be a good thing or a bad thing.
For John Cena's case, I think this will do him well. He needs a break off television, and
We need a break from John Cena.
We need a break from John Cena. Say what you will about his in-ring ability. I don't think he's that great of a wrestler. I don't like his character, but outside of the ring, you gotta respect what he does with Make-A-Wish, with the kids, and all that.
I totally do. I don't think his promos are interesting. He's boring on the mic. He's boring in the ring. He's not that great, but everything else. But at the same time, what this means now is the locker room needs to step up. All of a sudden, their biggest guy is being up. Look at Daniel Bryan. He was already, being pushed in. We talked about him earlier, obviously.
And you can also see like a chance for even RVD, who just came back, who's a major player in professional wrestling.
Yeah, these are
He
guys.
could even step up.
Yeah, it's like I even saw it last week. I was watching a match. It was Darren Young and Antonio Cesaro. And when I watched that match, I'm watching Cesaro actually. You could see he stepped up his gameplay. He stepped up his program in the ring. I'm like, wow. I said he got the message.
I think putting him with Zeb Coulter was brilliant.
I think it's a good move, regardless of what people think. I like the fact that they're bringing managers back to WWE.
Especially for the guys that can't talk. Look at Brock Lesnar. When he opens his mouth, he sounds like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
But you give him Paul Heyman, who could make this right here. He could talk in promo and be like, "This cup right here, CM Punk, this cup." You know what I mean?
And at the same time, somebody like a Michael.
ECW.
Wow. And even a guy like a Michael McGillicuddy can learn from somebody like that,
The problem with Michael McGillicuddy,
aka Curtis Axel.
aka Joe Hennig, he's not his dad, but boy, putting him with Paul Heyman was brilliant. He needed a mouthpiece.
He needs somebody who's going to be able to teach him the art of the promo. He's got the in-ring ability. He's got the look.
Oh my, yes, he's got great talent, but when it comes to the promo skills, you don't have the promo skills of your daddy.
No. Great third-generation star, and if I see Paul Heyman long enough, I can see him being...
And I dig the theme music.
Yeah, the remix. That's fantastic.
I like, that's my ringtone.
Even speaking of... Oh, good job. You just killed Sting and Scott Steiner.
This is when Scott Steiner was Scott Steiner.
That's when he was good.
And when Sting was Sting. And when Rick was Rick!
Now, here's something that's interesting to look at, too.
Yes.
Did you see the whole thing with Darren Young?
What about Darren Young?
He came out of the closet?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Believe it or not, he came out on TMZ. But what can you say? I mean, first of all, people are giving him props for standing up. I say, that's good that he's comfortable enough to say that, to admit that who he is. At the same time, him and the primetime players are undefeated since he came out of the closet.
Hey, more power to him.
Whatever your lifestyle, whatever makes you happy.
All right, hurry up, I'm sweating.
All right.
Like a snow cone in Phoenix Pro Wrestling.
24th, August 24th, just not that long ago. They made their debut. Phoenix Pro made their debut in
Du Bois.
the hometown of one Dax Hastings. It's a good kid. I met him at a couple of Phoenix Pro shows.
Yeah, very great wrestler. He's
actually friends of a friend of mine as well, so it's kind of weird I had that.
You have friends.
Yeah, besides you.
You're my only friend.
Yeah, you just lost me thanks to that little diatribe earlier.
Nobody's gonna see that.
But anyway, Dax, in his hometown, captured the Legacy title in Phoenix Pro.
Wow. So he beat...
I believe it was James Ford, who was the former champion.
Jimmy Ford was the champ, right. C. Ford's the champ, the Grand Master champ, or...
Yeah, close enough. And guess who the tag team champions are?
Starlight Gaze.
Gaze.
I like them.
They got an interesting definitely an interesting little gimmick going on. In other news from indie scene, SBW, still not much word on them. I checked their Facebook earlier. They said that the dates are coming. They will be at Planet Ice as their home. So,
We've been there before.
yeah, it's a nice place.
I had a soda there once. You took a bump there.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were talking about injuries earlier, I mean, that's where IXP bloodied my nose up. Thank you very much, IXP.
You can do it again, ISP. I'll pay you.
And
On Take the King.
and Power Pro Wrestling in Altoona.
Power Pro.
Still getting some information on them as well. We do know that they are getting ready to open. Right now, their Facebook's a little bit difficult to find, so if you want to, if anybody from Power Pro is seeing this show, go to Pro Wrestling Rundown on Facebook. Put a link on there so people can find you. That way we can even get some updates from you as well, and we'll keep everybody posted on that. It's gonna be interesting to see when they finally open and what they're gonna do.
Yes, indeed you do.
Isn't one of the guys there an old friend of yours?
Mr. Doug Bigler.
Oh yeah, you know him somehow,
Somehow.
some way.
Subway.
Eat fresh.
After this.
So anyway, wait, we can't say that because they're not a sponsor yet.
Way sub. Fresh eating. Like my shirt.
Yeah, where do you dig that from? How many of those things do you have?
Just one in a million.
Yeah.
There's only like 1,500 of these out there.
Really?
I swear, yeah.
Where can I get one?
Come see me after the show.
All right. How can they get one?
See me after the show. Is that a bee?
No, but he is annoying.
All right. Well, let's move along. There's a bee in here, and I'm afraid of them, and I don't like them, and they don't like me.
Well, that's not just one person that likes you.
Hey, now.
Anyway. We started last week. I did a profile, or the last episode, I should say. I did a profile on Russell Reef before. I want to do a special profile this week on another indie star that we know that's local. One Man-Child.
Man-Child.
Now, the ironic thing is he made his debut for AON, and that was actually his pro wrestling debut at For Whom the Bell Tolls. It was in Altoona at the St. Rose,
March 20th, 2010.
which happened to be my first live appearance with AON professional wrestling. So,
Wasn't that a great night?
yeah, if you would have remembered the cards and not make me go back after them.
Still upset about that.
Just a little bit. I made my big entrance, jumped up in the apron, and he's like, I forgot the red sheet.
You had to go back in. I was bringing out.
Yeah.
And
So he has, the Nomad's been a great wrestler. He's one of my favorite gimmicks. He was a 2009 Tag Team of the Year with the Nomad in AON. He was tagged up with the Psychotic Assassin. He was just he won the tag titles at Return from Greatness with Ryan Fear, pinning the Project 13, ironic enough. So, he's had titles. He's the wrestler. I love the gimmick. I've always been a fan of that gimmick. Just unbelievable. He's wrestling right now for Phoenix Pro. If you had a chance to go see the Man-Child.
yes, Man-Child's worth your money.
Yeah, his gimmick, his character, and he does a great job. It's
The
just,
kids love him.
yeah,
I love him.
that's because you're a kid. On a unrelated note, congratulations to Robert and Raya Skiles for your recent nuptials. Congratulations, good friends of the show. Of course, when we would see Robert in a couple of the shows, we always call him Tiny. So, congratulations to you two. Happy and well.
Tiny got married?
Yep.
Where was I?
Probably on the radio or sleeping or eating a whey some. Or sleeping.
I'm not asleep. I'm sweating now.
You mind?
Like a pro.
Jeez.
What's that buzzing noise?
If that bee that's in here.
Well, we better wrap it up then.
Oh wait, no, somebody just drove by in a neon. Never mind.
I was racing. You're driving a Prius. I never win. Name that movie. I'll give you a Thundercup shirt.
And a sweat rag.
And you can take a wet sweat rag.
What could
What else do we have to talk about?
What else do you want to talk about, X?
Let's talk about...
AJ had a pretty impressive promo Monday night.
You know what's what I love about AJ is she's so tiny she can't even wear the belt.
I know.
She has to hold it up when she runs to the ring. It's kind of funny.
It is impressive what she's doing, but with her promo, I did have a few problems listening to it. She talked about she's getting these huge pushes in her own depth, but it doesn't hurt that she's been with Dolph Ziggler, John Cena, And
CM Punk.
the problem is, if they turn somebody loose like a Natalia,
Bryan.
if they turn Natalia loose with her
Oh
background,
my.
yeah, Tamina Snuka is another one. If they would have turned them loose.
See, they have decent wrestlers like Natty Neidhart and Tamina Snuka, who are trained by legends.
Yeah, by their families.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You know, you have that. You have the
Natalia is Jim the Anvil Neidhart's daughter, trained in the dungeon.
Yep.
Bret Hart's niece. We're talking Bret Hart, people!
Yeah. So,
The best there is!
and unfortunately, if
The
we're gonna
best
talk
there
that-
was!
And now you hate the harp on it, but TNA is
best
letting
there
go
ever
a
will.
lot of their. TNA made a big deal. They made a big deal on the internet where that Brooke Hogan got released from TNA.
Why was Brooke Hogan in TNA?
She was the head of the Knockouts division.
The head of... TNA's a joke.
It's sad to say. I mean, they really.
I watch
had
it and
the
I
talent.
laugh.
I know they have the talent. It's just that they're pushing people like a Hulk Hogan instead of
It's
the actual
like
talent
watching
they have.
Nitro in 2000. I'm tell you, they're gonna have the Millionaires Club against the New Blood.
Oh, they already did that.
And then they'll have like freaking... What's his name? Mark Matt?
It was at the time. It was.
Hey, listen here, Crowbar!
I mean, they had the main event Mafia before when they were bad guys. It was all the guys like Kurt Angle, Sting, all the guys that were top of the division, and then they
Now
had
like Aces and Eights.
and then they had Fortune, who was basically the New Blood, and it's just yeah.
Now they have
it's
Aces and Eights, and they release guys from that.
Yeah. What a way to get rid of them. I mean, if WCW would have done that, the NWO would never have been that powerful. That's all you have to do. Unbelievable.
I thought the NWO took over WCW.
No, they just helped Vince take it over.
Well, that's what it all was about. There's that B again.
We stop focusing on the B. We got wrestling to talk about.
I'm the B.
Anyway, hey, you know, I'd like to thank everybody out there
We're watching.
for watching, for liking our Facebook. We were up to 100 likes in about almost a 1 week period. So thank you very much. It's very
Tell your
appreciated.
friends.
Yeah, and keep it up. I mean, it's much appreciated with our little show, what we've got going on. We've got a lot of workers, a lot of wrestlers, a few promoters here and there that are liking us as well. We're hoping to be able to work with a lot more people going forward. We'd like to show up at some of your shows, like do stories on you and your wrestlers.
Interview the wrestlers.
Yeah, and again, if you get an opportunity, you know, please give us drop us a line on the Facebook, on our email address, which I'll probably put the email address somewhere over here.
Right there will work.
You know, or on the Facebook, and let us know that you're interested in having us show up, or like to talk to us. You know, we're just fans of wrestling, and we got a website.
A new website.
Yeah, it's
on the
What's that,
screen.
Frank?
What's that, Frank?
it'll be on the screen.
Frank said it's on the bottom of the screen. You can't see it right now, but I can because I rolled my special contacts. You don't want to look. It's
Probably
pretty
not.
cool.
Well, anyway, just put it up there, Frank.
Roll it, monkeys. Here we come. Walking down the street.
So you can keep up to what's going on with us and what's going on with the show on there. Again, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. It's been a blast for the first week and our first show.
Second show in the books.
Yep, so
Thank you all for watching. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and tell your dogs.
heck, even pick some random kid off the street, pull him in the house and show him.
Yeah, just don't do that. That could be considered kidnapping.
Well, school's back in session, so I mean, there's plenty of them out there.
Do not listen to that last word of advice. We don't need to be going, oh, the X-Man and Mike Edwards said kidnapping.
I didn't say kidnap, so just pull him inside and show him the show.
Say goodnight, Mike.
Give him dinner, give him dinner. Then you can send
Give
him
him
on the
Dunner. Watch the show, damn it.
Well, speaking of dinner, I think we're done.
Good night.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. We hope to see you next time on the Pro Wrestling Rundown. Hopefully X won't be distracted like he is today.
There's a bee in here, dang it.
Frank, let's
Frank. Good night.